Welcome back, you hear Goldberg. Look, if I thought simping was some kind of scheme to steal your dignity, I wouldn't even be here. It's just a loan of your time, money, energy, and resources to a woman, with no guarantee of return, ever. So I wanted to talk about a couple of these videos that came up in my feed, which I believe are indicative of particular trends in Soyciety. Now, maybe 5 years in the past, I brought up the concept of certain fellows embracing transgenderism due to the social benefits that are conferred on women. I was ridiculed, it'll never happen, no man would take such a path. Today, lo and behold, we have a Channel 4 documentary on transmaxxing. So let's commence.
Get close to that.
I'm looking at that and I'm like, yeah, you look like a guy.
I look like a guy, but I don't look like a manly guy.
So this is the person they're doing the documentary on, this male to female. As you can see, has a Georgia free tier hairline.
Would you say that your life was slightly incel-esque?
And this Karachi cell looks like he ironed the hair onto his forehead. And in fairness, it happens to us all. Receding, the scythe must come.
Sure, yeah, somewhat isolated.
So this is an inkwell or near inkwell becoming a woman, but not to date women, at least as far as the documentary suggests. Has a boyfriend. Now, is that considered straight trans or gay trans? Is gay trans when you would date the woman as a lesbian? I don't really know, and I don't care.
Cleaner and generally more pleasant. I mean, that is a controversial one.
I don't think it's controversial to say that female spaces don't have piss all over the floor.
Well, that's debatable. Now, it is interesting to note, some counter Care Bears attack traditional Care Bear doctrine on being obsessed with cleanliness when you go to the bathroom, as though that's a bad thing. Now, you go to a public restroom and see how disgusting people are. They come out of the stalls, no matter what they've done, they don't wash their hands. Before, during, and after COVID, I've observed this. And it makes you just ponder how many illnesses have been passed on because of absolutely filthy human beings. I don't care what their religion is, what their race is. I mean, it's frightening when you consider it. So definitely wash your hands and probably carry sanitizer, wipe off knobs, because there are some individuals apparently never learned to even basics of germs and whatnot.
You're not going to please a woman with a 2.7-inch penis.
One day when
I mean, that's honesty right there. What can you say? But what's fascinating, if you look at the comments, is how much vitriol is rained down on the makers of the documentary, the person in question. Oh, he hates women, he's trying to harm females. And you say, well, isn't this basically what women were agitating for by and large? They supported LGBT, they supported this independence at all costs, feminism, but now they're angry because a sub-5 male could be encroaching on their territory, possibly taking a job that they might at one point have taken from a man due to feminist affirmative action. They're angry that this dude who would be relatively invisible to them, or just a simp, a pay pig, is now able to command that sort of attention from other men. And of course, that could take men away from the simp factory that orients itself around Western women. Moving on, we've got this one from The Cut, which is about, I guess, couples that are in FWB situations, whether they would consider moving on to a full-fledged relationship.
Contra at all unless I know it's serious, because I don't want men coming and going. We are very
So that was a little bit later, but she's talking about having a kid, but she's hooking up with this dude. So where's she sleeping with this dude? Not at her house? Do they fob the baby off to the Hooters when they're going at it? I always think that's kind of interesting, the protectiveness of the child, but willingness to have hookups with random men or something similar.
I'd say number one.
How about him?
You can be honest. If I'm last, it's fine.
You're not last.
I'm not.
No.
Yeah, so here we have the Clarence with the girl who looks like she would be in a porn video with the tattoos and the tone of voice. And they're asking, what is his standing as far as sexual performance is going? And she's basically implying she sleeps with a lot of dudes and he's not all that great. So she's trying to let him down gently. This woman is definitely a prime example of the type of, female in the United States today where you've got a guy, in the case of the brother, who's desperate to be in a relationship, and she's essentially treating him like he doesn't exist. So in the past, this might have been if you had some side woman you were banging as a man, but she wasn't respectable enough, and that's essentially what's going on.
Maybe your range of freaky, but my range of freaky goes
So
like
you made him
here.
match your energy more.
Right.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, basically she gets with a lot of dudes, and he's just the normie backup.
You actually.
When's the last time you lied to her?
Does he need a plunger?
Have you slept with any people since we started hooking up?
Can I take a shot?
Well, I feel like you kind of admitted that you have, but you can. What if you're to find out the other?
Yeah, so basically, he's not, in the case of the brother, he's not doing anything else, but she is. Once more, the type of relationships that are available to men, if you're not purely into plug and play, this is going to be the dynamic where the women literally don't care for the most part. They're just doing their thing.
But try not to let myself.
Do you think you could ever fall in love with her?
I don't know. It's not that there's anything not there. It's just I've been hurt a couple times. I mean, I guess that's not an excuse.
That's just top level trolling that he's doing. And when you first see this guy, you're half imagining he's going to go,
"There's a map on the back of the Declaration of Independence."
But in the comments, of course, he was getting roasted. He's this homeless bum that he looks like, he's the hairline. And it's very true what Rehab Room just recently said, that no matter how women will claim its personality, one of the first things they're attacking him for is that he doesn't have good hair. Now, it apparently didn't stop him. He would claim to have slept with anywhere from 2 to 10 women in addition to her in the last year. That could be prostitutes. Maybe it could be men. That's another possibility. But if it's true, I'd say this is a legit example of an oofy doofy that manages to get around. Although, who knows? Maybe there's drugs involved. A lot of different variables. Yeah, so that's basically what society has become. This is your options when it comes to dating. And then in the case of the British person, they're trying to turn the tables on that or flip the script by becoming a woman and having those benefits. So I don't see it really breaking anytime soon, because even when it comes to the political sphere, where some people are putting their hopes in that, that's going to change everyday life. We just had the implosion of a massive conservative media network because I guess they were taking money from Russia, or that's the allegation. So we have a long time to go before the dial flips back to the other side. But let me know what you think about these clips.